In this segment of the Rapid Cabin video, we're going to show the door installation. You've seen how the windows go in. Very, very simply, the door the same way. Now we've sent along what we call a jam nailer, and these are cut to 3 3/4 inches. A regular 2x4 is 3 1/2. So we've cut these a little bit wider so that when we get to the inside trim, the knotty pine that a standard door frame will fit, we'll get to that detail a little bit more. But what Al's going to do is nail these in this opening that's already been provided right on top of this plate. We're going to leave the plate on, and he's going to hold that to the inside roughly 1/4 inch. Again, that'll help the knotty pine level out, or what we call plane out, with the inside of the door frame. There's 3 pieces to this kit. The rough opening that we give you is 41 inches wide. That's this rough opening here, 41 inches wide. A normal door, 36-inch door, requires 38 inches as a rough opening. So if we subtract 1.5 inches one side, 1.5 inches the other, that's 3 inches. Now if we subtract that from 41, remember I told you this is the opening we give you, that'll give us a rough opening of 38. That's exactly what we're looking for. So Al will finish this up and then nail one in the other side identical. Now if you cross wires, if you have to cross wiring across the door, you're going to have to go up and across the top to do it. So just kind of remember that. The other way you could do it is if you have a basement in your building, you could bring it up from the basement or crawl space. Okay, go ahead, Al. Just nail it. Yep. Now that will give us a height opening of 7 feet in a rough opening. Okay, so we're going to add a top piece here that comes with it. That's 38 inches wide, and that will fit right between the two. And if everything works like that with your cabin, it almost self-holds itself in place until you can nail it. So that shrinks the top of the opening so that a normal, again, 3068. Now we do supply in some instances the exterior door, but it'll rarely, if ever, be your actual finished door. What we supply you is what we call a construction door. That's an inexpensive door. It secures your house. It goes in the opening. When you're all done with your cabin, then put your finished door in that you're going to locate locally, buy it locally. Sometimes you can get deals at certain spots. So go ahead and nail that into place. So the next step is we cut out this plate here. This is the mud sill. Now the reason we cut that out is because the door will sit down on that. They're just going to stand this up for a minute here. You're looking at the inside of the door. Now this frame is 4 1/2 or 4 5/8 in thickness. That's a standard frame thickness. We want the 3/4 pine to flush out with this, with the frame. Therefore, your interior trim that we'll show you downstream will fit without monkeying around with what we call a jam extension. So we'll diagram that more in detail in your instruction manual, but we want you to know we're thinking of you. We're thinking of how you put this in, try to make it easiest for you, and give you the parts needed on our end. Again, we're leaving that mud sill in until we're ready for the door. We're going to leave that sill. Remember, we put this sill sealer on. We're going to leave that right in place because that's a great seal for the bottom of the door. This is the outside of the door. Some of these doors will have a brick mold on them. We took the brick mold off because this is going to get log trim on the outside. But we'll put this door in, and this we're going to have to fasten through the frame. You're going to need shims and those kind of things that we'll talk about in the instructions. But what I wanted to show you is how this door goes into place. And then Al will shim that in and get it set. Now, it's really important that you get your door in level and plumb. So more plumb, and you want to be sure the hinge side is plumb, because if you don't, the door racks and it won't close properly. So go ahead and set it up in place, and then once you get it here, one of you will run inside and we'll just kind of hold it there. Okay, now what George is going to do is tell Alfred when he's flush on the inside. And then Alfred then can screw the frame in to this jamb. Now what he's going to do is just tack it for now. So George, you want to be exactly 3/4 inside. Good, good, okay, that's good. Now what we're going to do is just tack this door in place. You level it and get it all set up. After you get it here, we don't want it tipping in and out. So most of these doors will come fastened together with a nail to hold this together. So just leave that in just before you stick it in the opening, and then we will be able to hang that door, but you want to hang a door with the door shut all the time. Then you can get your, what we call our margins and so forth. Again, we'll show that to you on the inside when we get there. So they'll finish this up and then we'll get ready for the next segment. But that's how simple an exterior door goes in. If you have any further questions, contact us at the information listed.